If you're new around here, back in 2018, I dedicated an entire week in November talking about Mystery Science Theater 3000. Not only for the show's 30th anniversary, but also for the 12th season that was coming out around the same time. Originally, this was supposed to come out back in December of last year, but with how videos were coming out late and the fact that I was getting burnt out, I decided to just delay year 2 until now. And what better way to do it now, seeing how we just celebrated the 3rd year anniversary of the show's revival a few months ago. With that out of the way, let's get into the topic of today's video, the show's release on home video. Of course, MST3K being released on VHS and DVD isn't anything special, but keep in mind that at the end of every episode they always said, keep circulating the tapes. And it worked. Many viewers were able to spread the word about the show to friends and family by taping the show on a regular basis. Nowadays, it's much easier to do that by sharing on websites like YouTube, and lots of people were able to sell the old episodes they have on either VHS or DVD. A majority of these episodes used to be held by Rhino Entertainment from 1996 all the way to 2008. The rights then shifted to Shout Factory, who then continued the releases with the 13th volume being the 20th anniversary box set since that year, and even re-releasing the old Rhino volumes starting in 2015, seeing how those are now out of print. There's a little over 50 volumes of the show that have been released, and if you count the single releases, as well as the ones for seasons 11 and 12, there's even more than that. Of course, I don't own all of them, I only have close to 20. So we're going to talk about all the MST3K DVDs that I own. Just a warning before we start, this video might become quickly outdated if I get any more in the future, and I'm probably going to talk about 2 box sets together, and I'm not going to talk about every single detail included on these DVDs. I don't mean to do that, it's just because I don't want this video to be as long as, well, these. Let's start at the beginning. As I mentioned, Volume 10.2 was the first box set I've ever owned. Some of you may be wondering, why is it labeled under 10.2? Well, originally they had the episode where Joel and the bots tackled Godzilla vs. Megalon. Yeah, who would have thought they would be throwing jokes at a famous giant Japanese monster before going after Gamera? They did 2 episodes on Godzilla, that is until Rhino was forced to remove the episode and replace it with the giant Gila monster. That DVD even included a demonstration for the upgrade to 10.2, featuring not only Trace Bueller and Frank Conniff reprising their roles as Dr. Forrester and TV's Frank, but even Joel Hodgson reprised his role as the man who was shot into space with his robot friends. Keep in mind that this was the first time to see Joel back in the red jumpsuit before the 30th anniversary and Great Cheesy Movie Circus tours. Not to mention that this is the only time you'll hear Frank as Tom Servo, plus Trace returning to the role of Crow for the first time since season 7.
Alright, Crow, the big thing about riding the unicycle is maintaining a look on your face like you're not riding a unicycle.
Great, Matt's are calling. Now he'll never learn.
I will so.
As someone who was getting into the show, this was a pretty good introduction for me. And I think the episode that stood out the most as the funniest was the giant spider invasion. That is when I wasn't afraid of the DVD itself. When I first saw this DVD menu as a kid, I thought it was a little creepy, but then the menu transition popped up.
Holy shit!
This scared the shit out of me and I ran out of the room. I'm not kidding. I had to turn the TV off so I don't have to see that menu screen, ejected the disc, and put it back in the case. If I ever wanted to play that episode again, I'd seriously had to let my mom get the DVD out of the case for me. Now I know what you're thinking. If I was so scared about the DVD, why would I watch this episode anyway? Well, I do have an easy explanation. I did it for the Packers. And as we all know,
Packers won the Super Bowl! Packers!
Next up are the 2 box sets I've owned. Volume 14, which I got in 2009, and Volume 15, which I got in 2012, I believe. These are tied for having some of my favorite episodes on each. 14 has Soul Taker and Final Justice, while 15 has Zombie Nightmare, as some of you may know from my top 10 favorite episodes list. Some of you may have noticed that so far going through these that some of my favorite episodes are from the Mike era of the series. Well, during that time when getting into the show, I was introduced to it when Mike was the host. Not to say that I didn't like Joel, oh no, I just wasn't used to his episodes yet at the time. But now getting more of the DVDs, I came to the conclusion that, yeah, I like them both equally. And speaking of Joel, here we have the MST3K Essentials. And if I recall, I got this in the summer of 2009, And again, as a Christmas gift for my granny. I guess I forgot I already had one, or I didn't tell her. But hey, double the episodes, double the fun!
That's the statement of the great bit in double mint gum.
Plus, since I had a second copy, I sent one of the episodes to my friend Morgan for his birthday last year.